Most heart health advice tells you what to avoid: fried foods, sugar, red meat. But what if the real secret to heart health isn't just about what you remove, but what you add? There are certain foods that don't just lower bad cholesterol, they actually help clean your arteries, reduce inflammation, and support healthy blood flow. Most people overlook them. Worse, they don't eat enough of them to make a difference. In this video, we're revealing the top 5 foods your heart needs and how to actually use them to transform your cholesterol. Fatty fish. If there's one food you can add to your diet that's almost universally recommended by cardiologists, it's fatty fish. And that's not because of trends or hype, it's because of the science. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, and anchovies are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. These aren't just healthy fats in the general sense. They've been extensively studied for their ability to reduce inflammation, improve blood vessel function, and crucially lower triglycerides and improve cholesterol ratios. Let's break down what that actually means. In multiple clinical trials, diets high in omega-3s have been shown to lower triglycerides by 15 to 30%, especially in people who already have elevated levels. And while omega-3s may not dramatically lower total cholesterol, they do something even more important. They change the quality of your LDL particles, making them larger and less dense. That makes them less likely to get stuck in artery walls and cause plaque buildup. At the same time, omega-3s help raise HDL, the good cholesterol, which plays a role in transporting LDL out of the bloodstream and back to the liver for removal. But their benefits don't stop there. Omega-3s also help calm systemic inflammation, which is a major and often silent driver of heart disease. They support endothelial function, which is how well your blood vessels expand and contract. And some studies suggest they can even help prevent blood clots and reduce the risk of sudden cardiac events in people with existing heart conditions. That's a lot of impact for something as simple as eating fish a few times a week. So, how much do you need? Most research points to 2 servings per week of fatty fish to see protective effects. A serving is typically around 3 to 4 ounces, or about the size of a deck of cards. That might look like a grilled salmon fillet at dinner, or a tin of sardines added to a salad or sandwich. And no, you don't need to eat raw fish or learn sushi making to make it work. Even simple meals like baked salmon with roasted vegetables or canned mackerel mixed into avocado toast can do the trick. Sardines and olive oil make a fantastic pantry staple, especially for quick meals that don't need cooking. They're affordable, shelf-stable, and pack a major omega-3 punch. If you're not a fan of fish, there are options, but you need to be strategic. Plant-based sources like flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts offer ALA, a different type of omega-3. While beneficial, ALA has to be converted by your body into EPA and DHA, and the conversion rate is low, around 5% or less. So while these foods are healthy, they're not a substitute for the type of omega-3s found in fish. If fish really isn't for you, a fish oil supplement or algae oil for vegans can help. Look for products that provide at least 1,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA per day and are third-party tested for purity and oxidation. But again, food first. Whole fish provides protein, vitamin D, selenium, and other nutrients that work synergistically with omega-3s, and it tastes good too. One common myth is that you have to eat salmon to get benefits, but that's not true. Sardines, herring, and anchovies are just as rich in omega-3s, and often more sustainable and affordable. They're also lower in mercury compared to larger fish like tuna, making them a safer choice for frequent consumption. And speaking of mercury, yes, it's something to be aware of, but not a reason to avoid fish entirely. The types of fish richest in omega-3s and lowest in mercury are the ones we're talking about here. That's part of why they're so widely recommended. Another tip, when you cook fatty fish, go easy on the deep frying. Baking, grilling, or steaming preserves the beneficial fats. Frying at high temperatures can oxidize the fats, reducing their health value and adding unwanted trans fat from processed oils. If you're eating out, Mediterranean, Japanese, and Nordic-style restaurants are great places to find heart-friendly fish dishes. A grilled salmon plate with olive oil and greens? That's practically a prescription for your arteries. And if you're someone who already takes cholesterol-lowering medication, adding fatty fish to your routine can actually enhance the effect of your prescription, helping you get better results with potentially lower doses over time. This isn't about eating perfectly or overhauling your entire diet overnight. It's about adding in foods that give your body what it needs to heal, protect, and perform, starting with something as simple and delicious as fish. For your heart, your brain, and your cholesterol, fatty fish is a powerhouse food, and it absolutely earns its place on this list. Walnuts and other nuts. When it comes to heart health, walnuts and nuts in general are one of the most underrated powerhouses in your kitchen. Tiny as they may be, the effects they can have on your cholesterol and cardiovascular system are anything but small. Let's start with the science. Walnuts in particular have been studied extensively for their ability to improve cholesterol levels and reduce heart disease risk. What makes them special is their unique mix of heart-supportive nutrients. They're rich in polyunsaturated fats, especially alpha-linolenic acid ALA, which is a plant-based omega-3. They also contain fiber, plant sterols, magnesium, and antioxidants, all of which play a role in improving blood lipid profiles. And this isn't just theory. A study published in the New England Journal of Medicine followed participants who added a handful of nuts to their daily diet and found a significant reduction in LDL cholesterol, often referred to as the bad cholesterol. More impressively, participants also showed improved LDL particle size, which is important because smaller, denser LDL particles are more likely to contribute to plaque buildup in arteries. Even more compelling, another clinical trial from Circulation found that eating just 30 to 40 grams of walnuts daily could improve endothelial function. That's the ability of your blood vessels to relax and dilate properly. Why does that matter? Because when blood vessels lose flexibility, your risk of high blood pressure, arterial damage, and heart attacks goes up. And here's the best part. Nuts don't just lower LDL, they also help increase HDL, which acts like a scavenger for cholesterol, helping remove excess from the bloodstream. In other words, they rebalance your entire cholesterol profile without medication. It's not just walnuts either. Almonds, pistachios, hazelnuts, and pecans have all shown similar benefits in cholesterol studies. Almonds, for instance, have been shown to reduce LDL and also help control blood sugar, another key player in long-term heart health. Pistachios can reduce triglycerides and improve HDL, while hazelnuts offer a great dose of vitamin E, an antioxidant that supports artery health. But there's a trick. Portion matters. Nuts are calorie-dense, and it's easy to overeat them. The recommended serving size is about a small handful per day, roughly 28 to 30 grams. That's enough to get the heart protective benefits without turning them into a source of excess calories. Also, raw or dry roasted nuts are ideal. Avoid the ones coated in sugar, artificial flavorings, or deep fried in vegetable oil. Salted is fine in moderation, but unsalted versions give you more flexibility if you're watching your sodium intake. If you're wondering how to make this a daily habit, it's easier than you think. Toss a handful of chopped walnuts on your morning oatmeal or yogurt. Add sliced almonds to a salad or stir-fry. Keep a small container of mixed nuts in your bag or car for a blood sugar stabilizing snack. Use crushed pistachios as a crunchy topping for baked salmon or grilled veggies. And if you enjoy baking, almond flour is a fantastic way to sneak healthy fats and fiber into muffins or pancakes. A lot of people worry that adding nuts to their diet will lead to weight gain, but studies show the opposite. Because nuts are high in fiber and healthy fats, they're incredibly satiating. People who eat nuts regularly tend to feel fuller, snack less, and maintain a healthier weight, all without counting calories or feeling restricted. In fact, one large-scale study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that people who ate nuts frequently had a lower BMI, smaller waist circumference, and lower risk of metabolic syndrome, all of which are directly tied to heart disease and cholesterol issues. One note of caution: if you have a nut allergy, obviously this habit isn't for you. But for everyone else, this is one of the simplest, most delicious ways to lower your cholesterol, and one that's very easy to stick with long term. And unlike many other superfoods, nuts are accessible. You don't need to shop at a specialty store or buy a fancy powder. You can find raw almonds, walnuts, or pistachios at almost any grocery store. Sometimes the best medicine comes in small, crunchy, satisfying packages. When you think about supporting your heart with food, don't just think about cutting back on the bad stuff. Think about adding in the good. And nuts? They're one of the best things you can add. Legumes: beans, lentils, chickpeas. If you're looking for one simple change that can lower your cholesterol, support your gut, stabilize your blood sugar, and fill you up for hours, legumes might be your new best friend. We're talking about foods like beans, lentils, and chickpeas, humble pantry staples that pack a major punch when it comes to heart health. These foods aren't flashy, but they are powerful, and the research on them is incredibly consistent. So, how do legumes help your heart? First, they're loaded with soluble fiber, the same kind of fiber found in oats that binds to cholesterol in your digestive system and helps flush it out of the body. In fact, just 1 cup of cooked lentils or black beans can give you over 15 grams of total fiber, much of which is soluble. This fiber helps reduce LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, by physically trapping bile, which contains cholesterol, in the gut, and preventing it from being reabsorbed. The liver then has to pull more cholesterol from the bloodstream to make more bile, which lowers blood levels of LDL over time. It's not just theory. A large meta-analysis published in the Canadian Medical Association Journal found that eating just 1 serving of legumes per day, around 3/4 of a cup, can lower LDL cholesterol by about 5%. That might not sound dramatic, but across a population, it's a game changer. And it gets better. Legumes are also low on the glycemic index, which means they don't spike your blood sugar. That helps reduce insulin resistance, a huge contributor to both heart disease and cholesterol imbalances. They're also naturally low in fat, free from cholesterol, and packed with plant-based protein, making them a great meat alternative. But maybe the most underrated benefit of legumes? They feed your gut bacteria. When the fiber in beans and lentils reaches your colon, it becomes food for your gut microbiome. That fermentation process produces short-chain fatty acids, which reduce inflammation and improve the way your body processes cholesterol. This is one of the reasons why traditional diets, like the Mediterranean and DASH diets, consistently include legumes as a foundation. They've been linked not just to lower cholesterol, but to a lower risk of heart attack, stroke, and metabolic syndrome. So how do you get more of them? It's easier than you think. Add black beans or kidney beans to your next salad or rice bowl. Toss chickpeas into soups, stews, or pasta dishes. Use lentils in place of ground meat in tacos or shepherd's pie. Make a spicy bean chili, a warm lentil soup, or a Mediterranean chickpea salad. Canned beans are just fine. Just rinse them well to remove excess sodium. Or if you've got time, dried beans are even cheaper and can be batch cooked for the week ahead. And for snacks, roasted chickpeas with a bit of olive oil and spices make a crunchy, satisfying option. Hummus, made from blended chickpeas and tahini, is another delicious way to get the benefits, especially when paired with veggies or whole grain crackers. Some people worry about bloating or gas when they start eating more beans. That's normal at first, especially if your gut isn't used to high fiber. The solution is simple. Start slow. Add small amounts at a time and gradually increase your intake. Soaking dried beans and rinsing canned ones can also help reduce fermentable sugars that cause gas. One thing that's often overlooked is how legumes help replace less healthy foods. Swapping out red meat or processed meats for lentils or black beans doesn't just add nutrition, it removes cholesterol-raising saturated fats and nitrates from your diet, giving you a double benefit. And if you're trying to manage weight, legumes are a secret weapon. Their high fiber and protein content help you feel full for longer, which naturally curbs overeating and helps regulate appetite without crash diets or counting calories. What's more, they're budget-friendly and globally accessible. You don't need anything fancy, just some beans, spices, and creativity. Cultures all around the world have been building meals around legumes for centuries. And now science is catching up to explain why they've stood the test of time. So if you want to lower cholesterol naturally, eat cleaner, and do it in a way that's affordable and satisfying, start with a scoop of beans. Avocados. Creamy, satisfying, and surprisingly powerful, avocados aren't just a trendy toast topping. They're one of the most effective whole foods for improving your heart health and lowering bad cholesterol. It all starts with their fat content, but not the kind you should avoid. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats, specifically oleic acid, the same heart-healthy fat found in olive oil. Monounsaturated fats have been shown in numerous studies to lower LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, while maintaining or even slightly boosting HDL, the protective good cholesterol. That's not just a theory. In a randomized clinical trial published in the Journal of the American Heart Association, people who ate one avocado per day experienced significant drops in LDL cholesterol, especially the small, dense LDL particles that are more likely to oxidize and cause plaque in the arteries. This isn't just about numbers on a lab test. It's about actually reducing the type of cholesterol that clogs arteries and increases risk. What makes avocados even more unique is their fiber content. Each medium avocado delivers around 10 grams of fiber, much of it soluble, the same type that binds to cholesterol in the gut, and helps eliminate it through digestion. So you get a double effect. The fats improve your lipid profile, and the fiber helps escort cholesterol out of the body. But the benefits go further. Avocados are also an excellent source of potassium, a mineral that helps balance sodium, relax blood vessel walls, and control blood pressure. Just one avocado provides 700 to 900 milligrams of potassium, making it one of the highest potassium fruits out there, even more than bananas. And they deliver antioxidants too. Lutein, vitamin E, and glutathione all play roles in reducing inflammation and oxidative stress, two key contributors to heart disease that often get overlooked when we only focus on cholesterol. Another advantage? Blood sugar stability. Avocados have a low glycemic load and slow digesting fats and fiber, which means they help keep your blood sugar levels stable. That's important because insulin resistance and poor glucose control are major drivers of cholesterol abnormalities and arterial damage, even in people who aren't diabetic. And when it comes to real-life meals, avocados are one of the easiest foods to include. You don't have to eat a whole one daily. Even half an avocado a few times a week offers benefits, especially when replacing less healthy fats, like margarine, butter, or creamy sauces. Smash it on whole grain toast. Toss slices into a salad or wrap. Or add diced avocado to a veggie bowl with beans and brown rice. You can also blend it into smoothies. Mix it into Greek yogurt for a creamy dressing, or use it as a butter substitute in baking. If you're making guacamole, try pairing it with fiber-rich veggies like carrots, cucumber, or bell peppers instead of just chips. That way you get both the heart-healthy fat and added fiber in one go. And don't forget this important bonus: avocados enhance nutrient absorption. Fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K require dietary fat to be absorbed effectively, and avocados provide that in a natural, whole food form. So when you're eating salads, roasted veggies, or anything rich in color, which usually means nutrients, adding a little avocado actually helps your body extract more of the goodness. Now, you might be wondering, aren't avocados high in calories? Yes, they are calorie dense, about 240 to 250 calories per fruit, but those calories come packaged with fiber, vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats that keep you full and satisfied. In fact, multiple observational studies show that regular avocado eaters tend to have lower body weight, smaller waist circumference, and better metabolic profiles, even when their calorie intake is the same or slightly higher. Why? Because avocados increase satiety. That means less snacking, fewer blood sugar crashes, and more control over portion sizes naturally without effort. One 2019 study published in Nutrients found that replacing certain saturated fats with avocado significantly improved LDL levels and reduced markers of cardiovascular inflammation, all without requiring major dietary overhauls. And that's the key here. You don't need a massive lifestyle change to start improving your numbers. Just add 1 or 2 small slices of avocado to your meals consistently. Over time, your lab results and your heart will reflect that choice. Whole, unprocessed, nutrient-dense, and versatile, avocados are the real deal when it comes to natural food-based cholesterol support. Add a few creamy bites to your plate, and you're not just eating smarter, you're eating for a stronger heart. Oats. They might seem simple, even a little boring, but oats are one of the most effective and well-researched foods for lowering bad cholesterol and protecting your heart. And the reason why? It all comes down to a special kind of fiber. Oats are rich in soluble fiber, especially a type called beta-glucan. This unique fiber forms a gel-like substance in your digestive tract, which binds to cholesterol-rich bile acids and helps carry them out of the body. In response, your liver pulls more LDL cholesterol out of the bloodstream to make new bile, which directly lowers the amount of LDL circulating in your blood. This isn't just theory, it's been proven over and over in studies. A major meta-analysis published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that consuming just 3 grams of beta-glucan per day, the amount in about 1.5 cups of cooked oats, can lower LDL cholesterol by up to 10%. And the effect is even greater when oats replace other processed carbs or sugars in your diet. But here's the best part. Oats don't just lower LDL. They also improve the quality of cholesterol in your body. That means fewer small, dense LDL particles, which are more dangerous, and more of the protective HDL that helps clean up excess cholesterol. Oats also help regulate blood sugar levels, reduce inflammation, and feed your gut microbiome, all of which are crucial for heart health. That makes them not just a cholesterol-lowering food, but a complete cardiovascular support system. And you've got options. Oats aren't just for breakfast. You can make overnight oats soaked in almond milk, cinnamon, and berries for a fiber-packed start to your day. Or warm up a bowl of steel-cut oats with walnuts, chia seeds, and sliced banana. That combo gives you fiber, omega-3s, potassium, and antioxidants all in one meal. You can even blend oats into smoothies, use oat flour for healthy pancakes or muffins, or add them to meatballs and veggie burgers for extra texture and nutrients. They're incredibly versatile. When choosing oats, try to go for less processed types when possible. Steel-cut and rolled oats have slightly more fiber and a lower glycemic impact than instant oats. But don't stress too much. Even quick oats have plenty of beta-glucan, and what matters most is consistency. And if you're short on time, just keep a jar of overnight oats in the fridge. They're grab-and-go, customizable, and way better for your heart than sugary cereals or pastries. Let's also talk about satiety because oats are one of the best foods for helping you feel full and satisfied. The combination of soluble fiber and slow-digesting carbs helps stabilize your blood sugar and insulin levels, which in turn reduces hunger and cravings. That's why oats are a staple in many weight loss diets, but they're equally valuable if you're simply trying to maintain a healthy metabolism and protect your heart long-term. And they're inexpensive, too. For just a few cents per serving, oats deliver a powerful nutritional punch. That makes them one of the most cost-effective superfoods out there. Accessible, sustainable, and backed by real results. One common misconception is that oats are too high in carbs. But context matters. Oats are complex carbs, rich in fiber and nutrients. Unlike refined grains, they digest slowly and don't spike your blood sugar. In fact, their fiber content helps improve insulin sensitivity, which can indirectly reduce cholesterol production in the liver. And they're naturally gluten-free, though if you're celiac or gluten-sensitive, look for certified gluten-free oats to avoid cross-contamination. Here's another tip. When you pair oats with a source of protein, like Greek yogurt, nut butter, or eggs, you create a complete blood sugar balancing meal that fuels your body and protects your arteries at the same time. It's this versatility, affordability, and scientific track record that earns oats a top spot in nearly every heart-healthy diet, from Mediterranean to DASH to plant-based programs. In fact, the FDA was so impressed with the research that oats are one of the few foods legally allowed to carry a heart health claim on packaging. That says something. If you're serious about lowering LDL and supporting your heart naturally, there's no reason to overlook this simple grain. Add a bowl, a handful, or a scoop to your daily routine, and let your heart reap the rewards. Sometimes the most powerful changes come from the simplest foods,